Welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Michelle, and if you're new here, welcome. If you have been here before, thank you for coming back. Today, I just wanted to mention a few patterns that I have made before for a company called MYO or Makeyourown.se. This is not a collaboration, but it is in a way honoring the patterns that I've done or made before, because before these patterns were not available for anyone else who were not a member, but now there are a few of their patterns that you can buy as PDFs without being a member. So I thought that would make it a bit more fun to just look into the ones that I have done. Well, I'm going to focus on 3 ones, to be honest. So if that is something that sounds like a fun and nice thing to be here and listen to, I suggest that you grab something nice to drink, and also don't forget a nice project to work on while I'm talking here on the screen in front of you. So let's go. Okay, so the very first bag that I did make for this company that I have been working on with, MYO, was a bag called the Lulu bag. And it is one of the bags that I think I'm most proud of. Well, mostly because I think I was really proud of the pattern. And as you can see on the screen, I will show you here on the side. I was really proud of the pattern itself, that it also was a little bit, it wasn't I like that it had waves almost instead of being very pointy. I like that it was 2 contrasting colors, because this is one of the bags that really got me more like to soak in or dry, like to want to do more colors, like more color work with my crocheting. So I had done it before, of course, but this bag really, like, I don't know, it woke something up within me. So I think it was very cool, just the pattern itself, but I do also like the construction of the bag, because it's basically a tube, and then it's like the handles are part of the sides and the bottom. It's a pretty thin bag. It's not so wide. I guess you could adjust that if you want to, and if you're used to crocheting, you know that you can just increase the amount of stitches, but then you have to think about like the tube, if you need to maybe repeat the pattern a bit more times, so all works out. But this pattern is actually available for anyone who wants to buy it as a PDF, and I think that the pattern is written in Swedish, but I'm not sure if it's also available in English. However, I think that translating a crochet pattern to English is fairly like easy, especially if you just use very simple stitches, such as what I've done in this pattern. For example, a single crochet would be a FM or a fast maska in this pattern, or a slip stitch would be a smyg maska or SM. So there's like very simple just translations to the words. I do think that because I don't think that in this one I used any half double crochets or double crochets, so I don't think you need to be worried about that. But I think I always mix up US and UK. I think it's the US terms that would be the best translations to the Swedish pattern if you would like to try it out. However, I do really appreciate this bag. I think that it turned out really lovely. I think it's one of those bags that you can, use both as a younger person or as an older person, and depending on what color choices you use. And also, you can personalize it to your own style so it fits. So I really like this one, and yeah. The next bag that I want to talk about is the Juliet bag, because I think that's the order that these 3 bags that I'm going to talk about were released in. So yeah, the Juliet bag is also another one that I'm really proud of. It worked flat instead of or compared to the Lulu bag, which was worked in the rounds. But the Juliet bag is worked with like basically single pieces. So you have a little bit more of the construction there that you need to. It's a little bit more advanced, I would say. So again, I think that the thing with this one is that I think I used just regular like stitches such as single crochets fasta maskor in Swedish, and I think that it looks more advanced than it actually is. It might be certain parts that you feel like you need to concentrate a little bit extra on, just because you make all the pieces basically by uh, separately. You don't do them as a whole. You don't work on the bag as a whole. For example, the bottom of the bag is also something that I think was very fun to do. However, it has a tendency to like tilt a little bit, like lean towards that way, or whatever, however you turn it around. But I do think that you can get it more straight if you block it. But I also feel that once you attached all the sides, it's sort of like straightened up a bit by itself. But again, you would have to you would have to decide yourself what you want to do there. I would say that a good idea would be to block that bottom, just to make sure that it's like as straight as it can be. But otherwise, I think the texture of that is so lovely. And I also, again, love the pattern. It feels a little bit Nordic as well on this two sides. And also I have a wooden handle, but you could technically also skip the wooden handle and just crochet whatever handle you want. But I think that it added a little bit of extra, a nice touch with that wooden handle. So the Juliet bag is also, like I said before, available for non-members as a PDF that you can download. And again, I think it is only in Swedish. I'm not 100% sure there, but I think it's very easy to translate to English, especially when we have all these AI tools today. So feel free to take that a chance if you want to, but I do think that it is I don't think it's too complicated. I might have to say that I think these patterns are only using the short terms. I don't think that you have the longer terms. So you might want to double check just the terminology of them. Like, for example, like I said, the SC, which is single crochet, is FM in the pattern, which is the fast maska. So just have that in mind. Now, the last bag that I wanted to mention here is also a bag that I think was simple but very lovely, and it's the Tara bag. I think it's such a little cute, feminine, girly bag. It can be done or made to look a little less girly, I think, depending on maybe what colors you choose to use. I think this is the perfect maybe bag for summer, but you could make it technically a bit more autumnish if you choose those colors, like maybe more of a brown or a auburn. Sorry for not being able to pronounce that word. But also you could, instead of a bow that I have chosen here, you could, I guess, use just a different color to make it a little bit more or less summery. But you can also choose anything else if you want to make a rose or if you want to decorate it with anything else. I think this bag by itself is such a nice, it has enough structure, it is one color, it's easy to decorate it and make it more personal. So I think this is like a nice basic bag with a leveled up basic bag because of the pattern. And yeah, it was a very fun and quick project as well. And I think it's the nice little gift bag to give away to someone, for example, who is graduating school or needs something that is cute and little and also handmade. And I think that one is one little precious gem to use. And I also here again used very simple stitches. It looks like I've used in very advanced stitches, but the truth is I used only single crochets and maybe slip stitches there. But I think why it looks so, I think it's called the goose feet stitch, but don't quote me on that. So you basically just make sure that you do 2 single crochets in 1 stitch before moving on. So all of that would be described in the pattern, again in Swedish, but probably very easy to translate as well. And this kind of stitch is I think there are several tutorials out there to show you how it's done. But I hope that, you're eager to at least feel inspired by these patterns, but also maybe you want to try them out or buy them as a PDF, because I thought, I used to think that even though it was very fun to make these patterns for this company that I've been loving to work with, it is a little sad that it's not available for everyone. And now they are trying out this new model to see if there's any other people are interested as well to buy these patterns separately. And I think that's a great thing that they do that. And also I think that it's always lovely that they recommend yarns for the project as well, so you don't need to go and look all around in the shop. You can actually see exactly what you will need in that when you're going into those patterns, and they have, I think, already listed what you will need in the, like, if you scroll down a bit. So all of those 3 bags, I can tell you that there are a lot more patterns there. If you go in and have a look on their website, it's also a lot of other things, not just bags. It's I know that there is a table runner there that I think I've made. I think it's the table runner, or if it's the table tablet. Either way, one of them are there. The lemon one is also there that I made before or earlier this year. So have a look and a little browse and see if there's anything there that, you know, intrigue your interest, and try it out. I really am so proud of working with them, and I feel like it's been so much fun. It's really inspired me in my creative process as well, to figure out new things, but also make you know, older things or basic things, but in a twist, with a more of a little small twist that makes it a little bit more unique and such. So no, I can't say enough how fun it's been to create these patterns, and I can't wait to see what more I will create in the future. But I just wanted to give you that little update about the PDF being available now for no members, and I hope you have a look in a little browse on their website and have and see what other patterns that they have that might be interesting to make. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Also, I hope you like this video, and if you do, if you want to then maybe subscribe, that would be amazing, and it would help the channel to grow as well. So with that said, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye!